What is your American dream?
My American dream is for everyone to just be equal, like no matter your skin color, gender, sexuality. Yeah, I just want everyone to be equal so that everybody can be happy and there's no violence.
My American dream was just to be able to attend school and professionally and, being recognized as a chef.
Fighting for other people, since I know that I'm very privileged in being a white woman in the United States. It sucks. I do have that power in the States, which shouldn't be possible, but it is. So I really want to just do my part today at least and just stand up for other people that aren't like me.
Peace, love, and happiness worldwide.
I just want to live in an America where me and my two cousins can be safe and don't have to get judged by the color of our skin.
My American dream would be that everyone gets treated the same, no matter what their race, culture, creed, or sexual orientation. Everyone gets treated the same. By the police officers, by the politicians, by every citizen. Everyone gets treated the same.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Oh, hello everybody. I hope you had a great weekend, Bradshaw Live Squad. I certainly did. I had a big weekend celebrating times two. On Saturday, it was Cinco de Mayo, and it was the Kentucky Derby. Oh my God, I couldn't make it down to Kentucky, but I was cheering the horses on. Go, 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 go. Justified was the winner. I tell ya, good thing there's no groundhog racing, because if there was, watch out, I'd be the champ. I'm the fastest burrower around. Woohoo! Anyway, what's on today's Bradshaw Live? Well, you'll just have to watch and see.
All right, welcome everybody. It is Bradshaw Live. We had a little live section there for a second. Just for a second. It can't be Bradshaw Live without going off with at least 3 or 4 hitches, right? 5 hitches.
Right.
Welcome Belgium Kim, Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias to the Bradshaw Live, and welcome Dionne Watson, Tamika Nelson. Hey y'all, she says. Barbara Lord.
Hey.
Who else? Kirk Brown here says hello. Carol the Tiger. Hello, hello. I started this whole thing about saying hello to people.
Yeah.
And now I'm very concerned, like people will get insulted if I don't mention a hello to every last person.
And that you should be, because they do.
They do, right.
They get very
so
offended.
this is the deal.
I would get offended.
This is the deal. If you said hello in the first 5 minutes, if you said hello in the first 5 minutes of our countdown,
I like that.
I will say hello to you.
Wow.
If you don't say hello in the first 5, if you're going to say hello to me 30 minutes into the show, it's not going to happen.
Not helpful.
Anyway, Joe Shorter, hello. Barbara Lord, hello. Brenda Norton says hello. Evangeliste Forrest. We know Evangeliste?
We know
We know her.
Evangeliste
She's in and out sometimes, right?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Who else says hello? Cece Mitchell.
Cece Mitchell.
I know Kim knows everybody, so I'm looking at
Right.
Kim.
I do know-
Right.
I'm looking at her
Cece
too.
Mitchell?
I
We
do
know
Cece.
Cece?
There are a lot of new
Yeah,
people over on
Patrona
the Spar
Collins. Hello,
Bernstein side.
Cece. I don't know if I've ever said hello to Cece before. I don't remember saying hello to Cece. Maybe I have.
Surely you have.
Surely I have.
Cece's
a buddy of ours.
Cece is a buddy of
She
ours.
is definitely a buddy of ours.
Are you
All right.
kidding me?
I'm just double checking, Kim, to make sure that we're on the same wavelength here.
We're-
All
you're
right.
testing you,
I'm
actually.
testing you. I know exactly who CC is.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. Patrona Collins, Belle McGill, I know, of course. Groundhog Sam says hello. Ma Dukes says hello.
Yeah.
Ma Dukes, I love
Yes,
that name,
Ma.
right? Who else here? Marjorie Thompson. Marjorie, hey Brad, Kim, Yo-Yo, and Squad. Malia Loban Martin says hello. And Kirk Brown. At least we have a man saying hello every so often, right?
And Kirk is a real one. Kirk has been an
Yes.
MVP for forever and ever.
And Juba Quiz Jackers.
Juba
Quiz
Juba
Jackers.
I like that.
Juba Quiz Jackers.
Juba Quiz.
You say that really fast.
You know, I
Juba
can't
Quiz
say-
Jackers.
I can't.
He says, he didn't say hello to anybody. He just said, hey, Rebecca Alonso, watch this.
That's good enough.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
way
Yvonne Steele, hello. And Jonathan Elliott says share.
Yes,
you want to
please.
take our other feed? We're both on, by the way, before I ask Kim to say hello to on our other feed, I just said hello to everybody who said hello to us. on Bradshaw Live on Facebook. We also are streaming live on Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein. I'm going to ask Kim and Jonathan to take over there. Who do you got on that side?
We got you.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at you flying around.
Flying around. We're not ready to share yet, but if you want to share, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Who do we got? Who do we got on Spar and Bernstein,
We
Belgium,
got
Kim?
lots of new people.
Yeah.
We want to say a big hello to Abdul Rashid Ibrahima Garba. Hello, Dawn Harriet, of course, and Diana Clark. Shayo Doman. All of these are new people for the most part. Now, we
Nice.
still have the tried and trues like Lisa Bling Rose and
Lisa
Dawn
Bling.
Harriet.
Right.
Yeah, you like
I like-
Lisa
I
Bling.
love
I
that
Oka
name.
Pat says hello. I
Oka
see.
Pat, Simone Earl
Right.
Stevens, already early with the question, so
Yeah.
she knows
So-
she's going to get
Simone,
her answer.
right, and Simone, right with the question without saying hello, we'll still answer it. But you can also say hello, how are you, and here's my question.
Right.
Right. I mean, that would be, the
all
polite thing
good.
to do, but we'll answer anyway.
We'll answer it anyway.
That's right.
Simone's going to get her answer.
All right.
She got what she came for.
So anyway, we got a lot going on here. I do got to remind everybody the best way, as we're going to help you in the next 2 hours with all of your immigration issues and hopefully give you a few laughs on the way. What we also want to do is ask everybody to please share this with your friends and family. If you don't share with your friends and family, we can't help as many people as we can. And the best way to share with your friends and family, Jonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias.
All you have to do is click on the bottom right of the video where it says share and a little arrow that's pointed to the right. And then you could also tag your friends, tag your family. All you have to do is press @ and type their name in the comments and they'll pop up. So do that, guys.
The other thing you got to do is if you like this show and you want to be notified by Mark Zuckerberg every time that we come on live, because I think he's there with,
He's actually there and he
there
actually
doing
sends it to
right,
you.
he actually will send it to you. All you got to do is like and follow Bradshaw Live or like and follow Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein, whichever feed you like to watch on. It's a different group on each feed. Some people watch on both. Some people are only will watch on one or the other. Whatever you like, as long as you're watching, we really don't care.
That's right.
Right, we don't play favorites. We like
don't.
the people on Bradshaw Live just as much as we like the people on the Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein site. Is there a difference between the two?
No,
do
we're all
you
family.
like one group better than the other?
We're all
Jonathan?
family.
We are all family.
We're all
Are you?
family.
I'm just waiting to see somebody pick a side here.
I would party with one group.
You would party with one group more than
I'll
the
party
other.
with all y'all. All right? Look,
that's-
I'm a partier.
Everybody will be invited to the Bradshaw Live block party.
We will be having a block
Yes.
party soon, so keep watching. In the meantime, you know who's not going to make it to the Bradshaw block party? People who are caught with their families illegally crossing the border. Trump he wants to basically prevent people from trying to take their families across the border from Mexico. So he's going to make their life as miserable as possible. So one of the things that now he's going to be doing, which he just started in the last few weeks, but it's just now been announced by the Department of Homeland Security, people down at the border have been seeing it, but now it's been officially announced as a policy, is if you come crossing over the border with your family, they are going to separate your children from the parents and keep children in one jail and parents in another. People who are basically fleeing for their lives, let's put them in jail, and they haven't been traumatized enough. Let's separate children from their mothers and fathers. That is what the United States of America will be doing. Welcome to America.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
warm welcome.
As a matter of fact, last month the Department of Justice said over 700 kids were separated from their mothers in the last month alone.
Wow.
And they're really trying to dissuade people from doing that. So, your choice is starve or be killed where you are, or sit in a jail and be separated from your children at the border between Mexico and the United States if you're caught.
What kind of choice is that?
I don't know. I do not know. Meanwhile, Donald Trump caught in another lie.
Surprise.
Breaking
Yes,
news,
I mean,
everyone.
he has lied more than any president ever, right?
Yeah.
He's got to.
Right?
Yeah. That's
Now,
easy.
he said in a tweet I read over the weekend, he said in a tweet that, it's because of him that 3 American hostages have been released by North Korea. And it was all under these hostages were arrested under President Obama. And Obama, if he was, basically he said if Obama was a good president, he would have had these guys released. Obama let them sit in jail. And it's only because of Donald Trump that these guys got out of jail. There are 3 Americans who are also of Korean Dissent, obviously.
Right.
The problem is that 2 out of the 3 of these Koreans that Donald Trump got out of jail were arrested while President Trump was the president. It's very hard for President Obama to get people out of jail if he's not the president when they are actually arrested.
Wow.
Yes, I mean the lies just keep coming and coming. Apparently, Kim Hak-sang was arrested May 6, 2017.
Look at him smiling.
Right,
too.
he's happy now. Right, and there's a guy, Tony Kim, who was detained on April 22nd, also arrested. And they both taught at a university in North Korea. They also had American citizenship, and they were arrested while President Trump was in office. He took credit for getting them released and blamed President Obama for their arrests.
So my thing is, like, is he not suffering any kind of consequences for all these lies? That
No.
It's like it's almost like he's a pathological liar.
But that's
he's like
why.
starting to believe it.
That's why he will not be sitting down to be interviewed by Mueller. All right, that's why he won't do it.
Right.
Because he knows he's going to lie.
But they can't ask him to do it. Like,
once he testifies before Mueller in an interview, he's under oath, so he can't lie anymore. Which is why he's doing everything in his power not to do it. Because once he goes before Mueller, he's going to get caught in some lies. That is perjury. It's a crime.
Right.
It's a crime. Yeah. That's what Bill Clinton was impeached for.
Yeah.
Perjury, lying.
I just don't understand how he has any support left at all, even from the Republican Party.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, North Korea says the United States had nothing to do with their peace overtures to South Korea. Donald Trump is trying to get the Nobel Peace Prize I'm going to tell you something. When Donald Trump, you would think the world is coming to an end when Donald Trump becomes president.
Yeah.
No. The world will come to an end when Donald Trump gets the Nobel Peace Prize. I can't believe that people are even talking about it. Right?
Isn't it the Norwegians that give it away?
He
wants more Norwegians, so
here.
he's definitely pitched it.
Yeah.
Look at how peaceful that man
he's a very
was.
peaceful guy.
Leave it up to him.
He's a very peaceful art. You know what? People who are orange-skinned are generally peaceful in nature, I believe.
Very scientific.
It's like from Mars. I come in peace. All right. So,
very scientific, Brad.
Meanwhile, John McCain doesn't want Trump at his funeral.
That's crazy.
I don't blame him.
And
I don't blame him.
Barbara Bush didn't want Trump at Barbara's funeral either.
Wow.
So the Bushes didn't want Trump at Barbara's funeral.
Oh, so is that why he didn't go?
That's why he didn't go. He claims he was busy and it was a security thing.
Of course.
Okay, every president and every dignitary was there at Barbara Bush's funeral except Donald Trump.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
The
And
president.
Pence is going to go. Now we're already burying McCain. He's not dead yet.
Right.
Okay.
So crazy.
But unfortunately, he's terminally ill. So it's only a couple of weeks more. And he said he is disinviting President Trump from his funeral. He doesn't want him there. Now, if you remember, McCain was the deciding vote that kept Obamacare alive.
Right.
He was also the first person that Trump went after. He said, "I like my heroes not to be caught."
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Right.
He said,
He likes his war heroes free or something?
Right.
Oh
He said, "Why is McCain a war hero? He was in jail for years during the Vietnam War. I like my heroes not to be caught."
That's crazy. That's so disrespectful.
By the way, Jonathan, okay, I am making a public announcement. I want it to be very, very clear. If I were to die at any time in the future, I don't want Donald Trump at my funeral as well.
And I bet you Trump
Okay,
will fight for it.
I am making it public. I know he wants to come. I don't want him there. All right. President Trump tells the NRA immigration laws were written by people who do not love our country.
What?
Yes. He gave a speech to the National Rifle Association, and it says that people who wrote the immigration laws don't love America. I don't know what to say on that one.
It's funny because the founding fathers of America were in fact immigrants.
Yes,
so
the
that
entire country was built on immigration.
Built by immigrants.
By immigrants and
for immigrants.
Correct.
Right.
Google, you know that little company Google?
Yeah,
wouldn't exist without immigrants. You know that little chip maker Intel?
Yeah.
Okay, you ever heard of it?
Makes everything run.
Right? Oh, yeah, wouldn't exist without immigrants.
You know, like that country called the United States of America?
Wouldn't exist. Right. You know those electric cars called Tesla? Wouldn't exist without immigrants.
Right.
By the way, you know, every fruit and vegetable you eat, it would not be in your mouth if it wasn't an immigrant picking it.
Oh my God.
I mean,
That's
think
true.
about it,
That's
right?
true. We just heard from Farmer Joe, who said
That's
exactly
right.
that.
That is right. That is right.
Unbelievable.
So, unfortunately, more Donald Trump. I know we want to get off of Donald Trump. It just doesn't
You
end.
know how I feel, yeah.
Okay, he is ending now. He announced he's going to end the temporary protected status for Hondurans. Hondurans had temporary protected status. They were here legally with a work permit and with a opportunity to live here for years. Since there was since 1998, they have been living for the most part peacefully
Right.
here, paying
my
their
God.
taxes. They were designated to have temporary protected status because of a hurricane that devastated their country.
Oh my
and
God.
and here's some pictures of what the hurricane did to Honduras. And basically, true to form, Donald Trump has deliberately chosen to wreak havoc on the lives of 57,000 Hondurans and their U.S. citizen-born children who have been living here for over a generation, telling them they now have to leave the United States. This is on top of ending 200,000 authorizations for Salvadorans to stay since the 1990s,
Right.
50,000 Haitians, 9,000 Nepalese, 2,500 Nicaraguans, and 1,000 people from the Sudan.
My God.
Wow.
Right. Remind me also, by the way, and I see all the angry faces. I don't blame you. And we're going to be getting to all your immigration questions in about 4 minutes. And by the way, I will keep talking about Donald Trump for 2 hours unless people start calling right now. We have 12 open lines. So if you
y'all
call,
better start calling.
Yeah,
We
so if you
got
call in the
stories
next,
up the
in the next
yin-yang.
4 minutes, you're going to be lined up to get your immigration questions answered. And the telephone number to call, if I haven't mentioned it before, is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. You will eventually see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come across your screen with my head on him and a sign that says "Call now." That is the time to call now. Obviously, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has sent us a lawyer's letter and said, please do not use. He has not sent us a letter. There he is. Dwayne,
disregard it.
There he is. There he is. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson coming across your screen as we speak, demanding. I mean, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson demands your call, you better
gotta
call.
Yeah.
And the telephone number to get your immigration questions answered is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. I do have 12 open lines right now. This is an immigration show. We do want to help everybody achieve their American dream. So please give us a call right now, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. Paid a lot of money for that number. I keep telling everybody. Years ago was when everybody had those vanity numbers, you know? You needed a vanity number. If you didn't have a vanity number, you were not a true law firm. Every law firm needed a vanity number.
You are a true law firm.
So I am a true law firm.
Law
That number, that number's around for 25 years. But I never say LawLink anymore. Nobody does, because everyone saves the telephone number in their phone, so you don't got to remember it.
You know, I was cleaning out some cabinets the other day, found some old Spar Bernstein pamphlets where the number was not LawLink.
What was it?
It was
Something jams.
1-800-BRAD-225.
Oh, I had that number too. That's right. Wow, I totally forgot that number.
Brad.
Do you like that? Does that even number work right now?
I know. Somebody call it.
Somebody call 1-800-BRAD-225 and see if it works.
Not for your
Can you
immigration
imagine
questions,
goes to
because
some
we
other
won't
law
be
firm?
here,
That would
but-
be terrible.
Why would they steal
I
your
don't know why they would steal. I don't know. I remember that number. That was like 20. That was a long time ago.
It was an old pamphlet, let me tell
Wow,
you.
that was one of my. That was my first. My first vanity number was
You looked
was
very
1-800-BRAD-225. I gotta ask Letty if that number exists.
Was it called
still.
a vanity number because your name is in it?
Because your name is in it. Because you're vain. Because you're vain.
Right. What was the
You are vain.
225?
225 Broadway. That's where we are.
Yeah.
Brad's at 225 Broadway. Don't you know where you go to work every day? There we go. Thus his name. Thus his name, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elliott.
The yo-yo. The yo-yo comes into play every once in a while.
By the way, Jonathan, I have some really cheap beachfront property for you on the Big Island of Hawaii. The houses are going like wildfire there right now.
Really?
It's a fire sale.
It's a fire sale
quite a
there.
fire sale.
Quite a fire, yes.
I was over here like, wait, for real?
The volcano has erupted on the Big Island of Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and 26 homes. It's actually sad.
Oh
and there's the fire trucks from New York
Right.
going
To Hawaii.
to Hawaii.
Right
We
now.
hear them
Yeah.
right now.
Hang
yes.
tight, Hawaiians. We're
Yes.
on our way.
We'll be there soon.
We'll be there very
Yeah,
soon
very,
in fire
very
trucks.
soon.
Yikes.
So, hey, that's funny. Hang tight. So, unfortunately, in Hawaii, the homes are up in flames. I was at that volcano
Really?
years ago, about 4 years ago. I was there
Before this, I hope.
before it erupted. 1,700 residents have been evacuated.
Ooh, look at that. That's crazy.
200 lava shooting up 230 feet up in the air.
Sheesh.
Now, I was on the other side of, they call it the golden, not the golden crust side. Golden crust is the patty maker.
I was
But
just-
whatever,
right.
whatever they call it, golden something or other side of the island.
Yeah.
And it was about a 3 to 4 hour drive to go to the other side of the island. That's how big the big island of
Wow.
Hawaii is. It's a big island. It was like a 3 to 4 hour drive to go from where I was staying at my hotel to the other side of the island to see this volcano. Now, I drove those 3 to 4 hours to see something that looked like that. I wanted to see stuff flying up in the air.
You wanted the
Yeah,
I
lava.
wanted the
to see
lava.
Right.
I didn't get it. I
Well-
saw a hole in the ground. Nothing was happening.
Yikes. You drove.
I
all
drove
that.
4 hours to see a hole in the ground.
Right.
Could you look in it?
You could not look in it. You didn't get too close. There was a little steam coming out.
Okay.
It was like, it looked like when I went, like you just finished barbecuing 4 hours ago, and like, you know, like the
you're
coals
like,
are just
yeah.
kind of simmering like from 4
Yeah.
hours ago.
That's what it
That's
looked
what
like.
that's what it looked like. Now it looks like a real volcano.
And that's what you wanted to see.
I really did want to see it. I
And
don't
you
want to
would
see
have been
people
melted.
lose. Yes, I would have been melted. I don't want to see people lose their homes.
Yeah, that's
But by the
sad.
way, we are now at the 6 o'clock hour. We'll talk about the horse suing for negligence tomorrow. The 96-year-old lady who saved $8.2 million. Oh, I'm going to tell them everything because they got stuff to see. The cockroach that crawled into the woman's ear. We got a lot of stuff for tomorrow.
I'm so glad we
Yes.
did not cover that.
What?
Oh, no.
Yes, the
no,
cockroach
no.
in the ear.
No, I kind of vetoed that this morning, and then Jill was like, your veto was overruled.
No, veto overruled.
Ah.
Veto was overruled. So right now, everybody, we're going to be answering your immigration questions. So if you call right now, 1-800-529-5465. We are at the 6 o'clock hour. This is the time when we will be answering your immigration questions. The telephone number right now to call is 1-800. I will say it slowly. I don't know where Dwayne The Rock Johnson is, but I will say it very, very slowly. We have 12 open lines right now. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Oh! We have a whole bunch of people on hold.
Well, hello, people.
Look at me.
See, they know. Now they know.
Wow,
6
we
p.m.
had a major glitch there.
So you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
And you got everybody.
And I got everybody up in arms saying nobody's calling, and there was like 8 people.
I'm telling you, I think that people are starting to know
I think-
what time to call.
I think Groundhog Sam has to look into this a little bit here. Ever
He's our
since
tech guru.
He is a tech guru.
our tech
Ever
guru.
since I told him to, kind of, gnash his teeth,
Right.
get his teeth wet, on some of these wires.
Get his paws dirty.
His paws dirty. Right,
Thanks,
we're going to be
Groundhog
answering your
Sam.
immigration questions now. 1-800-529-5465. Tyrone, how are you?
Yes, hello. How are you doing?
Good, good. What's going on, Tyrone? And by the way, for everybody else out there, as I'm going to speak to Tyrone right now, if you're a little nervous to call me, I don't bite. I won't mock you in any way. We want to help you. But if you're a little nervous to call, then you could always leave your questions on our Facebook feeds, and Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias will ask them of me in about 20 minutes or so. But right now, Tyrone, tell me, what is your question?
I got the application at the immigration, but they denied me because they said I'm not taking care of my child, and that's a lie because I take care of my kids. I figure they just don't want to give me the citizen,
Well, no. You saying, I'll tell you what happened. You saying that's a lie, I take care of my kids, is not sufficient. So if you have children that are outside of the marriage, you either have to show there's a family support order and you're complying with that family support order, or if there is no family support order, you get a letter from the mother saying that you are taking care of the children.
No, but I live with the kids. I take care of the kids.
The children live with you?
Yeah.
You have custody of these children?
Yes.
So then obviously something was amiss there. Okay? It's not I guess they don't want to give it to me. Maybe there's some other reason, or you didn't really, communicate well to them or demonstrate that the kids live with you. I mean, then you get a letter from the school saying, hey, by the way, the kids live with me and they go home to dad at the end of the night after school is over, and you show that they're dependents on your tax returns, they live with you. You obviously would be taking care of them.
Yeah, I get all of that from the school, from my tax return. I give them all the papers, and they still didn't give it to me.
Well, then they've either violated your rights, they screwed up, or there's something more to the story. One of the three. Either way, if that's the only reason why you were denied your citizenship, I can assure you that I can fix that for you. Okay? So hold on one second, okay? I don't like when people call and say, I guess they don't want to give it to me, so I'm going to give up. I don't want you to give up. Well, I'm going to help you.
Okay.
Hold on. 1-800-529-5465. Who are we going to? Jerisa in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Jerisa. How are you? Hello, Jerisa.
So, last December 2017, nag-change siya.
All right, they're having an inside conversation with each other.
Ready.
They weren't ready yet.
They weren't.
Okay, so let me just tell you how it works. When I say hi Jerisa or hi Mary or hi Sam, you're on, that's the time you stop talking to your friend and you talk to me so I can answer your question. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Sita in Fort Sita. Sita, right. I got it right. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Okay, I'm great too. I'm asking you a question, please.
Go ahead.
The question is, I filed for my son and daughter from the 8th of June 2013. So, how far have from there for them to call me?
Okay, so your son and daughter are over 21?
Yes, sir.
And you're a citizen or a resident?
Citizen.
And they are single or married?
Single.
Right now, they're processing April 8th, 2011. You were when in 2013?
13.
When? What month?
June.
June. You're about 2 years and change away. Give it 30 months. They'll be here. Approximately. 2.5 years.
All right. Because I call NBC and they say 1 year time, so that's why.
Well, maybe 1 year time till you hear from them, but it's going to be 2.5 years, I'm telling you, till they're physically here in the United States. Because right now they're only processing, as I told you, people who started their cases on April 8th, 2011 are getting their green cards. So you're June 2013, so they got to go through from April 8th to April 2012. That's 1 year. April 2012 to 13 is 2 years, and then they got to go a couple months to June. So you're 2 years and 3 months away on the visa waiting list. Assuming each month they move a month, which is not always the case, I'm giving you a good guesstimate of 30 months.
Oh.
All right, just hang in there.
Category F1?
F1, correct. Unless I'm looking at, this is May, yes, May. Am I looking at the right thing here? Yes, May 2018, I am looking at the right thing.
Okay.
All right, just hang in there and tell them not to get married. Not because I'm against love, because I'm very pro-love, okay? But if they get married, they're going to wait another decade, so don't get married.
Okay,
all right. Hang in there. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1-800-529-5465. I'm pro-love. Except
anti-marriage.
An anti-marriage when it comes to people on a waiting list for a green card.
Makes sense.
Okay? Pro-love, anti-marriage if you're on a waiting list for a green card.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get marry an American, and then you jump to the top.
We should have that like cross-stitched on a pillow. Pro-love, anti-marriage if you're on a waiting list.
Yeah. You know what? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm gonna do very well.
Yeah. You don't think your Etsy store is gonna blow up with that, Brad?
My what?
Your Etsy store?
What's my Etsy
It's where
store?
you where anyone can sell anything. So it's just like a bunch of crap, for the lack of a better word, homemade stuff on the internet.
I wouldn't buy that.
You would buy it?
No.
Well, I would proudly display it in my home.
Belgium Kim.
Bradisms.
Okay, Belgium Kim. Pro-love, anti-marriage.
If you're on a waiting list.
If you're on a waiting list.
If you're on an immigration list. It'll be a long
but it's
pillow.
true. If you're on an immigration waiting list,
I think that's great advice, though.
It's a
It's
truism.
truism,
It is a
yeah.
truism. All right, Erica in Parksville, Maryland. Erica.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. About a year and a half ago, my daughter and her husband were involved in a drive-by shooting. They had gone out to celebrate the draft of her brother-in-law into the NBA, and coming back from that celebration, they were caught up in a drive-by shooting, and long story short, he ended up paralyzed and she ended up with a bullet lodged in her back.
Where did this happen?
And
where did this
it
happen?
happened in Washington, D.C.
In Washington, D.C. So just randomly driving and all of a sudden bullets started flying at them. It had nothing to do with them.
Had nothing to do with them.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay.
So he ended up paralyzed, my son-in-law, and my daughter has a bullet lodged in her back. And his parents stepped into the marriage and took him out of the house.
Okay.
And typically abandoned her and their son.
Okay.
Their son is 7.
Okay. So where's
now
this?
She's wondering,
who's raising the son?
They are co-parenting at this time.
Okay.
She was wondering if she can still have her papers filed.
Absolutely.
Based on this situation.
Absolutely. She's entitled to something called a U visa, which is a victim of a crime. And she should be getting it. She should be filing this immediately.
Okay. And how long does that process take?
Well, a U visa, unfortunately, they only give about 10,000 visas a year, and there's about 60 or 70,000 people on a waiting list who are victims of crimes, who are here out of status, who are the victims of crimes perpetrated by presumably U.S. citizens. So it does take a while, but you can get a work authorization after 180 days if you can show humanitarian reasons why you need it. And with a bullet lodged in her body and a husband who's paralyzed and she has to take care of a child, that sounds pretty humanitarian to me. All right, so hold on 1 second. All right, hold on.
Yes.
All right, we'll try to help you here. All right, 1-800-529-5465. We got Rafael in São Paulo, Brazil. Rafael.
How are you, Brad?
How are
you hear me?
I hear you well. What's up?
Good. All right. I talked to you about, a few years back. I was deported about 11 years ago to Brazil from the U.S. I lived there for about 10 years, and I was deported for assault with a deadly weapon charge that I had, that I went to jail for 6 months. And my brother put through a visa, an F4 visa for me in 2009. But I talked to you about it, and you said there was little chance of me getting that visa because I have to be granted a waiver.
Correct.
So this came up. My brother talked to some other lawyer, and he said that if he applies for my mom, because he's a citizen, if he applies for my mom and she gets a green card, and her being there because she has Parkinson's disease, that means
that would give you no, it doesn't mean they'll give it to you, but that certainly gives you a much stronger waiver.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. It's been over 10 years that I was deported.
Yeah. I mean, you need 2 waivers. Okay. One waiver for the deportation. Okay, and the other waiver for the underlying crime. So you need 2 waivers. Now
for the deportation, even though it's been 10 years already.
Yeah, because right now your brother filed for you in 2009. They're only up to October 1st, 2004. So you have at least 5 more years of waiting before we even have to deal with what waivers you would be eligible for, and what the laws will be in 5 years from now. Okay, assuming your brother filed for you in 2004 and you would be eligible for your green card today, you would need a waiver, even if you were deported 50 years ago. You need a waiver to re-enter the United States after you were previously ordered deported. That's one waiver. You need a second waiver
for the crime.
For the crime, you need 2 waivers: a 212 waiver for the deportation and a 601 waiver for the crime. You need 2.
Okay. It's been over 10 years already.
Yeah, but even if it was, you still have 5 more years of waiting on a waiting list. So it doesn't, at this point, unless you're going to find a faster way to get a green card, talking about what the waiver will look like 5 years from now, we're a little early on.
Yeah.
You understand?
That was my second question. Yes, I understand that. My second question was: is there any other way of getting either a green card or a visa?
Fall in love. Yeah.
Is it easier to get a waiver through that than
well, certainly
to my mother?
Certainly having a wife that you're in a bona fide loving relationship with is a stronger waiver. Having a mom with Parkinson's disease and a wife, depending on what the wife's hardships are, is even a stronger waiver. So it's not about you get a waiver through one or the other. It's the whole enchilada. So to speak.
I understand.
All right.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good luck. 1-800-529-5465. Sharon in Queens. Sharon.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm just calling. I'm good, thank you.
What's going on?
To ask you 2 quick questions. Okay, I did my employer that I worked for 17 years filed my petition for me from 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I was approved for the I-140 and also approved for the 601A recently. My interview is coming up in a few weeks. I have to leave the country to go down in 2 weeks. My question to you is, I did the hardship based on my dad who lives here as a resident here. Do I need to take original documents for my dad when I'm going down, or
it doesn't hurt? You don't have to, but it doesn't hurt to bring the original documents that you submitted with your hardship waiver application. You won't have to show it unless they request it, but certainly bring it with you. It doesn't hurt.
Okay, so you suggest that I take it?
Just because.
I don't have the original. Can I take copies for him? His copy of his birth certificate and stuff?
Copies are fine too. I mean, it's already been done. And it's already been approved. Okay? So the only reason they're asking you for any of that stuff is just to make sure there's no fraud involved. So that's why you bring the originals. But if you bring copies, I mean, you'll be fine either way.
Okay. My next question is, my passport that I came here in 2001, I lost that passport, but I do have my I-94. Would that, I have my passport now, my current passport. Would that hurt my case going down?
It doesn't hurt your case as long as there's no funny business with the passport, or there's no evidence of funny business with the passport, that it was a legitimate visa, you came for legitimate reason and just overstayed. Right. And then that's fine.
It was legitimate. The only thing I have is the I-94, but I don't have my passport. I lost it a couple years ago.
When you get the provisional waiver, okay, what they are going to be looking for at your interview is, did you ever lie or commit fraud? Okay, was there ever an untruth ever told by you? Because if there was ever an untruth told by you, it's possible misrepresentation and you'll be denied. Do you have a criminal record? Do you have drugs in your system? Did you pass your physical exam? You're getting sponsored in a job. Is this a real job offer? Are you really going to go back and work for these people? Do you have the qualifications to work for these people? Is this really your father? That's the entire interview. So everything is revolving around fraud or crimes.
So I should just bring like an employment letter from my employer,
You absolutely need an employment. If you don't have an employment letter, you will not get through. But your lawyer should be doing that for you.
Oh, I'm trying to file this on my own, this part of it.
Okay. So then, all right, if you're trying to do it on your own, this is your life. Go hire a good lawyer. At least come see us and let us prepare you so that the last thing you want to do, okay, this is your life here, and you're leaving the country to get a green card to come back. It's worth, I'm not telling you to go spend every penny in your bank account, but if you had to, okay, you'll make it all back when you come back to the United States of America. You don't screw around with this.
That's true. You see, I had a lawyer before, but she took so much of my money and didn't help too much. So
all right, well, then you switch. That's what happens. You switch. So hold on. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right? Now, you don't fool around and go home without a lawyer.
To potentially be stuck in a country.
Correct, forever.
You don't want to be in. Yeah.
Correct, Belgium kid.
Brad Truisms. It's a day of Brad Wisdom.
It is Brad Wisdom Day. Kim in Newark, New Jersey. Kim, how are you? Kim, I'm dropping my stuff
Hello?
here. I'm here,
Hello?
Kim. Just all my equipment is
How
falling.
are you guys?
I'm wonderful. Just, I have falling equipment here, but I'm okay now. All right.
Okay.
Just you don't need to know what just fell out of my pants. All right.
Oh no.
But it was just It was this. It was this.
Oh,
this.
wait, put it away. Oh.
No, it was just this. Just this fell out of my pants. Don't get carried away. It's the thing that allows me to hear.
Kim, just in case you're not watching, we promise it's just his little speaker.
Just a little speaker. Right. It was black and long, which is really weird why that would come out of my
No, you are tan now.
Yeah, I'm tan now. All right, so maybe I went to a new beach.
Stop.
All right, make it stop.
you
All right,
guys.
Kim in Newark, what's up? Kim in Newark, what's up?
So
Kim doesn't want
I
me to even
recently
answer the
spoke to
question
you
anymore.
on the phone.
All right, let's go back to Kim in Newark now. I don't know what happened. I didn't hear her. I don't hear her.
Did you unplug?
I heard her.
Okay, let's try again now. Kim.
Hello?
Okay, now I got you. Okay, we had equipment
Yeah.
problems. Okay, what's going on?
All right, so I remember I recently spoke to you like a couple weeks back.
Right.
When I just found out that my lawyer owed the file I-130.
Right.
So I spoke with my lawyer and then whatever I wanted. I'm getting ready to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I have a question. I want to ask you two questions. I'm married and I'm in an abusive relationship. Is it possible I could file abuse?
Yes.
And if I file abuse, am I able to get the work permit?
Yes, you're a citizen.
Still?
You're married to a citizen.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And you shouldn't stay in an abusive. You should not stay in an abusive relationship just to get a green card. And if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you're going to get a work permit on the same day, whether your spouse files for you or you file as an abused spouse.
Okay. Next question. All right. So also the kids that I had in Jamaica, would that affect
No,
them
no,
coming over?
they would be included on your case once you get approved, as long as they're under 21 when you start the filing.
Okay, so there's this thing called advanced parole,
Yes,
something like that.
you would still be, you would be eligible for that as well.
Okay, does anybody qualify for it? Who's qualified? What do you have to get an advanced parole?
If you file it,
Say I have emergency in Jamaica and I want to go over.
If you file a bona fide adjustment application that you're qualified for, you're entitled to advance parole. End of story.
How long can you stay away on the advance
I would only
parole?
stay a couple weeks at most.
Couple weeks.
Okay,
Okay,
it's for
okay,
short
all
trips,
right.
not long trips. Okay?
Oh,
All right, hold on
all
one
right.
second, Kim. We're going to help
Thank
you,
you.
okay? Hold on.
All right.
Come in. All right. 1-800-529. We got so many calls now. Let's go to Sandy in Jacksonville. I don't have time to say the telephone number. We have so many calls. All right, Sandy in Jacksonville, Florida. Sandy.
Good evening, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Listen, I have a question. I read an article in the Washington Post a couple of days ago that said that the immigration laws were going to change and that legal residents who are applying for citizenship, who had like Obamacare, would be denied for citizenship. What do you think is going to happen with that?
I think that would be a violation of your rights. So I don't buy that.
Oh, great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, one more quick question. My husband will be filing for citizenship later in this year. What's the time delay on that sort of thing? How long do you think it will
It's about
take?
9 or 10 months right now.
Wonderful. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I'm glad I held on.
I'm glad too. Thank you. 1-800-529-5465. By the way, I'm going to fly around the world and remind everybody they got to share. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your frenemies, share with your enemies. Share with whoever you'd like, but please share. Right now, we have approximately 90 people watching on Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein, approximately 60 people watching on Bradshaw Live, a total of 150 live views right now. If every one of you 150 people shared, we would have 300 views.
This is true.
Yes, we would.
Right? But no.
No.
People just want to stay for the entertainment and the fun and not give back.
Don't be selfish.
They want to keep
You got
it
to
to
pay it
themselves.
forward.
Come on.
I got to remember which camera to look in. You got to pay it forward. All right, let's go to John in Virginia Beach, Virginia. John.
Hello, John. Good evening. How are you?
How are you?
I got a question. I live here in America for 4 years and 10 months.
Uh-huh.
And I just got married.
Congratulations.
And she's G1 visa, and her contract is expired, and she tried to renew it up to the student visa. I got a question. How long does it take? How I can let her to stay here in America.
Well, what is your are you a citizen, a resident? What are you?
I'm applying for American citizen.
Okay, you're doing
I'm
that
immigrant.
now. Okay, you're doing that now. And when she had the J1 visa, did she have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Her status is still pending, so we're still waiting.
No.
It's been 3 months.
Okay, so on a J1 visa, maybe you misunderstood the question. So let me take it back a notch. On the J1 visa, many J1 visas have a 2-year home residence requirement, which means that before you go and apply for a change of status to a student or an adjustment of status to a green card, you have to go back to your wife is from the Philippines?
No, she's here.
No, is she from the Philippines?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She's from the Philippines.
So she would have to go back for 2 years if she has a 2-year home residence requirement. So if that's the case, the first step is you need a waiver. If that's not the case, then yeah, change to a student. It's not a problem, and don't file for her. And when you become a citizen, she'll adjust her status. You know, I'm not sure, so we would need to take a look at the visa, but we can certainly help you.
Okay, so is there any possible for her to stay here, not to going back in the Philippines? Because I'm married her, and
I understand that. So my answer to you was I don't know if she has a 2-year home residence requirement. Yes, there are things we can do to help her get her green card and help her stay here as well. But the first step we got to figure out is, does she have a 2-year home residence requirement or not? So what I would suggest is let's have a consultation, and you're going to send me copies of her passport, and then we're going to figure it out from there. So hold on one second. All right, so let's go to Neil in Charlotte, North Carolina. Neil.
Yeah, hey Brad.
Hey.
Good evening. Thank you for taking the call.
Thank you.
I got a 2, maybe 3-part question. My first question is, my girlfriend, like her mom is a green card holder. I'm also a green card holder. If I did it or if her mom did it, which one would come through faster? Now, I mean, in terms of getting her here.
You getting married to her would be faster.
Okay, all right, fine. Now, if I got married to her, like on average, how long would it take to get her here?
About 2 years, 2 years and a half, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right. The third question, while the petition is in, would it be possible for her to get like a visitor's visa?
No. And by the way, you told me you only had 2 questions. That's your third one, but I'll answer it anyway. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. No, she can't get a visitor's visa, but eventually you're going to have to fly to visit her for the next 2.5 years or until you become a citizen. All right, but go get married to her if you love her and she loves you, and you start the filing process.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Richard in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Richard.
Hey, Brad. How you doing,
what's up?
sir?
How are you?
Hey, quick question.
Yes.
I'm good. And yourself?
Fabulous.
Okay, here's my problem now. I came to this country in 1983 as a minor, accompanied my father on a P-53 visa.
Okay.
Okay, 1983. I got arrested for selling 5 grams of cocaine in 1988.
Okay.
I got sentenced in 1991.
When?
I went to prison.
1991, you were sentenced.
Yes, I did my time, and I came out in 1996. I was already deported. However, I got a 212C waiver in 2000.
Right.
In 2001, I applied for citizenship, and they denied it because I had bad morals.
Correct.
Okay, now, because all the recent changes, especially the law out in California just happened about 2 weeks ago,
Right.
Sessions versus that guy from Mexico, whatever Spanish country came from.
Right.
I mean, what
Sessions
am I
versus the guy
trying
from
to
Mexico.
reapplying again for my citizenship?
Zero. Let me tell you why.
Can't get citizenship.
No. You got a 212C waiver, so
Yeah.
you're eligible to stay here for the rest of your life with a green card. They can't take it away from you. Okay? What the law says, and this goes back to November of 1990, what the law says is that you cannot be an aggravated felon with a conviction with an aggravated felony after November 17th, 1990. So the date of the conviction for immigration purposes is the date in which 2 things happen. You are adjudicated guilty, which is the day you pled guilty sometime in 1990, and a sentence is imposed. That sentence which was imposed happened in 1991. On the day you were sentenced, under the immigration law, under the definition of what a crime is, that is the date that controls. So you were found guilty of a crime, an aggravated felony for immigration purposes on some date in 1991. You got your waiver, which is fabulous, except for citizenship, the law says no aggravated felonies after November 17th, 1990. Since you have an aggravated felony in 1991, that bars you permanently from becoming a citizen. And basically what the law says is aggravated felon after November 17th, 1990 has permanent bad moral character. Not to say you're a bad person, I'm just telling you what the law says.
Yeah, I understood.
Right. So unfortunately,
Can I still travel? Because I've been to Jamaica in 30 years because of that.
If you have a waiver, you can travel. Just can't
I'm
become
just
a
scared,
citizen.
I've been traveling 30 years because of that.
What I would suggest you do is this before I send you off traveling. Okay? Have a consultation with us. Let's review and make sure that what you believe happened. And then if what you're telling me happened, the answer is yes, you can travel because that waiver is good for life. But let's just double check it before I send you off.
Because I just renewed my green card like last
no
year.
problem.
They sent it back to me a couple of months ago.
No problem. You just can't become a citizen. But let's just confirm everything before I send you off traveling. All right?
Not a problem.
All right,
Thanks
hold on
a lot.
1 second. All right, let's go to Ari in Syracuse. Allie?
Hi.
Amy?
Hi, Dan Brad.
Ari, got it right the first time. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Okay. So my question is, I'm a green card holder, and I've been in the United States 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, at the end of the last year, I got charged for 2 stalking.
Stalking?
Misdemeanor. Yeah, misdemeanor stalking.
What you're following your girlfriend around or something?
Yeah, the girl. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what happens.
Female, yeah.
You get. They make you mental sometimes. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
Not that you're mental. I'm just saying. You don't think right. All right. So what happened?
So I'm in the process right now. I'm keep going to court. What's the possibility? What can happen to me if I get convicted?
It depends what you're convicted of. This is in New York. I'm not sure off the top of my head what stalking would be considered if it's a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
If it's a misdemeanor and there's no domestic violence involved and you don't go to jail and this is your only criminal offense ever, it would be considered a petty offense. It would not be a deportable offense. You still don't want to be convicted of something, but, what I would suggest that you do and what everybody does is before you plead guilty, you have the right to say to a judge, before I plead guilty, I would like to talk about this with an immigration lawyer. And the judge will let you walk out of the courtroom and schedule you to come back another day to determine whether you want to plead guilty or not. So that's my advice I would give you and everybody.
And they also told me, because the both accident, the both misdemeanor was happened at the same time, they told me you can plead guilty to one of them. Is that going to be?
How many misdemeanors are we talking about?
We talking 2.
What was the other one?
The same thing.
Oh, 2 All right. So if you plead guilty to 2 separate stalkings, then now you have 2 crimes of moral turpitude. The petty offense exception doesn't apply. That becomes deportable. Let me make this suggestion to you. Have a consultation with me. Let's go through this before you do anything silly. All right?
Can you say hi to my Yes.
Hold on 1 second. I'm dealing with his stalking issue, and you want me to say hi to your mom?
I'm so excited. She's her first time
I know. She's going to say, why don't you say hello to your mom? You're on camera. Why do I got to say hello to her? I'm helping the man with his stalking issues, and you're like, say hi to my mom.
Listen,
How unempathetic are you?
I'm very
Empathetic.
Yeah, I am. But my mom could definitely get a lot of people to watch this show.
What's your mom's name?
Elsie, Liz Elias.
Liz.
Elsie,
Liz.
yeah.
Do me a favor. Okay. I've gone around the world several times today. Okay. Please take out your thumb or your finger. Liz, nobody else, and share this with all of your friends. Jonathan says you're the most popular person on the Northeast.
She just came back from Ethiopia.
Right?
Hold on. My mom is also in the comments.
Yeah?
And she knows people.
Why is she not sharing?
People. Oh, she's sharing.
Share.
Mom already knows to share.
She's sharing too.
Yeah, mom shares every day.
My mom doesn't know how to get on Facebook.
Happy Mother's Day is coming up.
Yeah. My mom doesn't know how to get on Facebook.
We gotta get moms on Facebook so
Yeah.
that
She
they
doesn't
can
know how
have
to
their
get on
own. They
Facebook.
could be our moderators, like
Yeah.
the moms of Bradshaw Live.
There you go.
Moms of Bradshaw Live.
Start a show for them.
Call Bravo. All right.
Adorable.
All right, let's go. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take 3 more calls because we have 3 people who have been waiting a long time. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 more calls. And after these 3 calls, because we got Shanae, Scott, and John, you guys know who you are, hang in there. We're going to take all 3 calls, and then we're going to go to our social media check-in, and we're going to ask Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Belgium Kim to ask all your immigration questions of me in our social media section. But we've had a lot of people holding for a long period of time.
Right.
These people have been holding the longest, so let's just speak to them quickly. Shanae in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Shanae.
Hi, good afternoon, Bernstein. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just have a quick question regarding dual citizenship. My husband has a Jamaican passport from before he even got his citizenship. He got his citizenship back in 2015.
Right.
And we were just wondering if it would be considered dual citizenship.
Between Jamaica and the United States? Absolutely.
It would be.
Yes.
Is there any way to there's nothing that can be done about that, right, with the Jamaican one?
Why, you don't want him to be a dual citizen?
Well, with regards to certain positions that he's looking into, it could be an issue.
Well, then he would have to renounce his Jamaican citizenship.
Okay. That doesn't happen when he does
No, it doesn't happen.
ceremony for his citizenship?
No, it doesn't happen automatically. You would have to go through some process to renounce your Jamaican citizenship. But,
Okay.
all right?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to John in Macomb, Illinois. John.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Very fine, thank you. Can I just ask a little question about, I'm presently in the United States on F1 visa.
You're on a student visa.
Yeah, I'm a student visa.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
I'm working. I'm presently a registered nurse.
Okay.
I've passed the board exams. Yeah, is it possible for me to change my status immediately?
Well, let's see. Do they have the current here for employment base? The answer is yes. You can change your status immediately. Because a registered nurse who has a CGF&S visa screen from Nigeria, you need the CGF&S visa screen. You can file an adjustment immediately. You're Schedule A. You don't need a perm application, so you just have to file an I-140 and adjustment simultaneously. So the answer is yes.
I don't need a labor certification?
No, you don't. Not as a registered nurse, as long as you have what's called a CGF&S visa screen. So what you do before you file your adjustment, you need 2 things, okay? You need a CGF&S visa screen. What is that? It's the College of Graduate Foreign Nursing Schools organization. So you go to cgfns.org and you apply for the visa screen. What do you need for the visa screen? You got to show that you have a degree as a registered nurse, and you have to also have to show that you take the test of English as a foreign language, the TOEFL, and you passed it. You submit your credentials to CGF&S. They send you back something called a visa screen that allows you to work as a foreign person as a registered nurse. You also have to take the NCLEX for the CGF&S. I forgot that. Okay, so assuming you pass the NCLEX, the TOEFL, you have a degree, you get the CGF&S visa screen. You now have an employer who's willing to sponsor you. We're going to hire John from Illinois as a registered nurse. They're the ones who are going to fill out the I-140. You're going to fill out the adjustment. You're going to submit it all together with your CGF&S visa screen to the Immigration Service. They're going to give you a work permit in 90 days to go work as a nurse, and you'll get your green card.
Wow. So how long does it take to get a green card?
About 9 months.
9 months, right?
Yep.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask
Now I have a lot of Filipinos who are watching who are also registered nurses, and they say, "What?" No, Philippines is different because the Philippines has a waiting list. So I'm saying this for John because he's from Nigeria.
Okay.
All right.
Then one more question.
Yes.
Is it possible to change status for someone who have overstayed their visits in the United States on B1, B2 visa?
If they're married in a bona fide marriage, yes.
Is only if they marry, not if they pass, even if they pass NCLEX?
No, because you overstayed. You would have to go home and hope you don't have a 10-year bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right?
Sure.
Hold on, we can help. Hold on. Let's go. Finally, and by the way, leave your questions because after Scott from Seattle, because Scott's been waiting 27 minutes already, after Scott from Seattle, Washington, we will be going to social media with Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Scott in Seattle, Washington. Scott.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What's going on?
So I just have a question for a friend. 2 quick questions. Because my friend, he's on an expired student visa with a status of D/S, and he worked. I think he worked with the authorization, maybe using his SSN.
Okay.
For I guess 3 to 4 months, but he already stopped.
Okay.
And he wanted to find an employer. Is he able to find a green card, employment-based green card?
Yes. If
Is
you get
he
sponsored,
able to
yes,
adjust his
yes.
status?
He would not be able to adjust, but he would be able to go home without a 10-year bar, get his green card, and come back.
Oh, but okay.
So the answer is a job sponsorship would be a smart thing to do.
Oh, okay, because he's just worried because he worked without authorization for 3 to 4 months.
It doesn't matter. As long as you have DS.
And the second question he wants to ask me, I think he's just beside me, but he just wants me to ask for you. I mean, for him.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Because he's also planning to if he works under the table, but the government still doesn't know, I guess, if he didn't use his SSN, is he able to get a tourist visa or a non-immigrant tourist visa?
So you're basically what you're saying is the guy has a social security number. He didn't pay taxes, and he doesn't want to tell the government that he worked illegally and get a visitor's visa and lie to the government to get a visitor's visa. Are you seriously asking me that question? You don't want to ask that question.
Because I don't know if you work without.
It's called fraud. You got to pay your taxes, and you can't lie to the government. So the answer is no, and you'd be committing a crime. So when I said, are you seriously asking that question, you got to think what you're asking. All right, hold on. Scott from Seattle, Washington.
That's why we had a friend ask the question.
Yes, friend.
Right.
Friend who's sitting next to me
Yeah.
would like to know, if I work and get paid in cash and don't pay my taxes,
Right.
and I'm working illegally, although I have a social security number,
Right.
am I still able to go home and get a visitor's visa to come back to visit?
You want me to answer?
Yeah, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, can you answer that?
No.
No. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias make their money. This is where here we are, social media check-in. This is where they make their money. All right.
This is why we're here.
This is why we're here.
This is why they pay us the bill.
That's right. All right. What do you got?
Michelle says, I was in removal because of abandoning my first petition, and while in removal, I got married, where I went ahead and filed all the relevant forms. I did the interview and got the I-130 and the I-765 approved, and then an immigration judge administratively closed my case based on the approved I-130. Now, USCIS is coming back and saying that I need to get something from the judge that says the case is closed, not administratively closed, because that's saying that I still have my first status from my first marriage. What do I do?
You got to go back to the judge, because administrative closure doesn't mean you're out of deportation. Only when your deportation is terminated can you go back to USCIS. Otherwise, you got to go back to the judge, recalendar your case with the judge, and ask the judge to either terminate your deportation or, in the alternative, adjust your status. That's a lawyer thing. You're not going to do it. It's a lawyer thing. Your lawyer should be doing it.
All right, Nikki Brown says, good afternoon. I recently received my 2-year green card through marriage. My husband and I are planning to go to Jamaica. Do I have to get a new passport with my new name to travel? My passport that I have now won't expire until 2025.
You're traveling on your maiden name passport and you're married. Just travel with your marriage certificate and just show them you got married.
Curvins says, I'm a green card holder. Do you think that I could go ahead and apply for my mom who's outside the country?
No, I don't think you could do that. You have to be a citizen first, unfortunately.
All right, Tanya Winter. Can you use an ITN to get health insurance since I don't have a social?
Yeah, try. Why not?
Always worth a shot.
Always worth a shot. Depends. I mean, your medical insurance is private company, so it depends what their policy is.
Would you be able to qualify for a subsidy through Obamacare if you had just an ITN number?
I don't know. I'm not an
Yeah,
Obamacare.
that's fair. That's
I'm
fair.
I'm not. This is beyond my scope of knowledge because now you're asking me health care,
Right.
and tax and
Right.
Obamacare. I'm an immigration.
Dawn said, I filed for my daughter when she was 19 in 2015. She was assigned a case number back then. However, I submitted my affidavit of support and other required papers in 2017, and she was moved from a minor category to a 21 unmarried status. Could you explain why that happened?
She turned 21, right?
Yeah, but when they originally filed and she got the case number, she was 19.
But she turned 21. So once you turn 21, you change categories.
That's heartbreaking.
Yes, that's how life is.
Yeah.
That's how they work.
Yikes. Okay, Khalif Cole. I'm 25 years old, software developer in Jamaica. B1, B2 visa was canceled upon entry with no band. My mother is in the USA illegally. What are my chances of getting my visa?
0. Because if your mom's in the country illegally, they're going to say, where's your mom? She's in the country. What's her status? No status, then you're going to also be illegal. So it's unlikely you would get a visitor's visa.
Spencer Tobias said, is it possible to apply for a visitor's visa after being out of status for 5 months with a prior student visa?
So you're out of status and now you want to get a visitor's visa and you left?
I believe that's the question.
I mean, anything is possible, but it's unlikely. Because once you violate your visa status, the government doesn't believe you're not going to do it a second time.
All right, Miss Tamika Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm a citizen. Is it so weird? We are
weird people, right?
We're weird.
Very weird people.
Especially today.
Coffee's hidden.
Yes.
All right. Miss Tamika Nelson says, I'm a citizen. Is it too late to apply for a dual citizenship? And how do I go about doing it?
It's never too late. You never lost your citizenship from Jamaica, Tamika. Don't worry. I know where she's from.
Yes.
She's
How does
been
she go about?
Go get a Jamaican passport and have an American passport. You get a Jamaican passport, here's my birth certificate. You have an American passport, here's my naturalization certificate. Voila, dual citizen.
Voila magic. I like that.
Yes.
That's true. We do know everything about
I
Tamika.
know everything about Tamika.
We do.
Yes.
Dawn Harriet, who is another Brad squatter.
I know everything about her too.
That's true. Yeah, you do.
That's right.
Brad Squad, you don't know this, but Brad spends his free time stalking you.
I do. I do.
Much like Ari.
Much like Ari. Exactly. Except I don't get caught. That's all.
That's true. You're stealthy about it. You're very stealthy. Don, in regards to the TPS, in regards to Honduras ending the TPS or the DHS ending Honduran TPS, she was wondering if a judge can overrule that decision.
It's very possible that there's going to be some immigrant advocacy groups that file to say that what Trump is doing is beyond the scope of what his authorization is. I don't know. We'll see. It's possible. I'm not a, my knowledge is more. I'm not a constitution. That's a really more, believe it or not, it's not an it is an immigration law issue, but it is a constitutional law issue. Okay, so I leave the constitutional law stuff to other people.
All right.
Presidential powers.
Right.
What can the president do in terms of presidential powers? Where does he overstep? Where doesn't he overstep? Those are more constitutional issues.
That was one of my favorite classes in college, was constitutional law.
Interesting.
I had a cute professor.
Very interesting. Okay, Jonathan.
There you go. There's my tidbit.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to break this down for you, all right? I'm going to try to. All right, Miss Kimberly Brown. Okay, hey, Brad, I have a question for my friend. So she married a U.S. citizen. She went on her second interview by herself, but went back to Jamaica because of emotional stress. USCIS withdrew her 485 and said to get a lawyer. She also has a work permit and a social security card. What does she do to get back to the USA, and how long will it take?
Well, unfortunately, she left with a pending adjustment. So she's already shown her intention to get a green card. And therefore, it's going to be difficult for her to get a non-immigrant visa since she's already shown the intent to get a green card. Non-immigrant visas means I don't intend to get a green card, but she's already applied for one. Now, she left because of emotional distress.
Emotional distress.
Perhaps she can file what's called a VAWA application, Violence Against Women's Act, if it was extreme emotional abuse perpetrated by her husband on her. She can always do that and apply for her green card from Jamaica. You don't have to be in the United States to file the VAWA.
Millicent says, what can be done for me? I came here in 1992 on someone else's papers, and 2 of my kids are over 21.
Well, unfortunately, you came on somebody else's papers. It's a fraud, it's a misrepresentation. So unless you're 245I, you're not going to be able to adjust your status here. And if you go home, you have a 10-year bar and then a permanent bar because of the fraud. So the answer is, I don't have an answer for you. You would need a consultation. But based on what you told me, there is no answer. Maybe there's other things we don't know yet. But you got a problem. I'm done. Next question.
All right. I have 2 questions from...
Kim thinks I'm funny. There's only one person in the world who thinks I'm funny, Kim.
I think you're funny.
Kim thinks I'm funny.
At times.
I missed you, Brad.
Okay, so... Want to come to me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I have 2 questions from Ishibunisha Kelly.
That's a great name.
Ishibunisha.
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 Yes.
Okay, so how long does it take for a green card holder to file for his daughter under 21?
About 2.5 years. Now, sometimes a green card holder got their green card in a category where the daughter would have been a derivative beneficiary, and then she could just follow the joint several months later. So it depends on how you got your green card.
All right, and the second one is almost the same. How long does it take for a green card holder to file for his spouse?
Same exact answer.
There you go.
Rewind about 30 seconds.
There you go, Ishibunisha.
Yes.
Sandra says, my mom filed for my sister and her children, but now my nephew is over 21. Is it still possible for him to travel with her?
Under Child Status Protection Act, maybe. You have to figure out how long the I-130 took to get approved, and when the priority dates were current. There's a whole mathematical formula behind it. You would need a consultation.
All right, Reginald Amada.
We've heard from him before.
We have, and this is basically a follow-up question. I remember he asked about his daughter and citizenship in Canada and whatnot. So his follow-up from Friday was, I already filled my citizenship and put my... Filed. I said filled, sorry.
Yes.
I've already filed
I'm filled with citizenship.
So full of citizenship.
So full of citizenship. You tell Trump I am full of citizenship. Yes.
I think we are.
Yes.
That's
I
okay.
see now I don't think I'm as funny as I do because I see Kim laughs at everything.
I legitimately find humor in everything.
You find humor in everything.
Take him everywhere you want if you want to feel good about your jokes.
If you want to feel good about your jokes, you just bring Kim with you.
Put Kim in the front
That's right.
seat.
As
That
a
is
matter of
very
fact,
true.
the first time I did stand up, it was to like 4 people in a room, and I was just like, I just laughed hard as hell to all your jokes. You gotta laugh at me.
By the way, I've not been invited to Kim's stand-up routine.
I didn't even know
When
you
is
did
she going?
stand-up.
When is she going to invite us all to her stand-up
My
routine?
best friend hasn't even seen it
All
yet.
right.
It's
When
my
are you going to
brother
invite the
and
Brad
me.
Squad to your stand-up routine? You can fill the whole
I didn't
audience.
even know you did stand-up.
Yeah, she
A little
does
bit.
stand up.
In a little bit.
Every 2 weeks or so, she does stand up.
That's true.
But she
That's
doesn't
true.
tell us where or when, and then she comes into the office the next day. She goes, "You should have seen me. I killed it." And I'm like, "Why you didn't even tell me?"
Yeah, I
I'm
would
like, "You
have
didn't
if
tell
you
me."
invited me.
Right, exactly.
But then I try to tell Brad what it's about.
Right.
He's like, never mind.
Yeah,
goodbye.
I
That's
said.
inappropriate.
She goes. It's really X-rated. It's very dirty.
It's true.
And we're not?
Yeah, we are not X-rated here. We're a family show.
Oh, yeah. All right, so my follow-up.
Yeah. By the way, tomorrow Kim's gonna have like a little name tag. By the way, I'll be appearing at the Comedy Cellar.
Right.
But I'm not telling anybody. It's just like,
Comedy Cellar.
Yeah,
well, if I
right.
could get booked at the
Yeah,
Comedy
right.
Cellar, you're all
Okay,
invited.
I'm there. Okay, so I already filed my citizenship, put my Canadian daughter on my application, but not sure if she was on my green card application. So I want to know, will I get denied for my green card and put into deportation if my daughter wasn't on my green card?
You would be denied maybe for misrepresentation. It depends on what, more facts need to be known. But before we do anything, what we should do is what's called the Freedom of Information Act request and get your records and see what you put down. Very simple answer to figure out what happened.
Whew, I got questions rolling in nonstop.
Rolling in.
Nonstop.
What they say? Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Every about once a week I will sing on this show, and then I go back and watch, and I'm just like, that's the cringeworthy moment of the show when I'm singing.
I hate that you're going to say that because I'm certain that you sing more than once a week
Really?
on the show. Absolutely.
Well, every time I sing, that's the cringeworthy moment of the day.
The time warp is usually at least once a week.
We're going to now change comment of the day, the cringeworthy moment of the day. Brad singing is going to be the winner every day.
Natalie says, hi, Kimmy, Kim. My cousin came to the U.S. in 2004 on a passport in somebody else's name. She was sent back from the airport, and she said that at the airport they told her that she could try to get a visa in 5 years' time. By watching her show, I told her that she's going to need waivers. Can she get a visa if she's got the waivers?
She needs waivers. Depends what the visa is. So if she's going to apply for a non-immigrant visa waiver, she needs to apply for the visa first, qualify for it, and then be turned down. And it's going to be difficult to get a visa if you've already committed a misrepresentation. But she is absolutely right from what she is saying. But the process is not get a waiver first and then apply for the visa. The process is apply for the visa, whether it's a visitor's visa, a student visa, an investor visa, or perhaps even a green card. Get denied because of what happens and then do the waiver.
All right, Carrie Ann Wallace. So my friend has a work permit and she filed her papers without adding her children, and now she wants to add them. How can she go about doing that?
What do you mean she wants to add them?
She didn't put them on
her papers.
How
old are these children?
These are
all good questions.
Good questions
Who
that I don't
sponsored
have
her?
answers for. That's another good question that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Wallace.
Carrie Ann Wallace, if you could give us the answers to those questions, and a few more answers of questions that I didn't ask, but just throw in, like, my favorite color is orange. I don't know. Okay, wouldn't that be great? Well, what's her favorite color?
That's a good question.
No, that's a good question. We don't know. Has nothing to do with the answer,
Right.
but we would need to know who's, in all seriousness, we do need to know who sponsored you and how old your children are now, and then I can tell you what to do.
My mom joins you, by the way. She says that she's angry that she also hasn't seen me do stand-up.
That is correct.
And she said that she likes the clean-shaven look. She said you look handsome, clean-shaven.
But I didn't shave. I'm a little.
You can't
You're
really see that.
scruffy,
but you can't see
but
it.
you can't see it.
Can't see
you
it
can't
today.
see
Don't
it.
even tell them.
Right.
They
You
can't
like the,
see
does
it.
she like the
Don't say it.
tan?
She does like the tan. She
Yeah?
did. She told me
She
on
likes the
Friday
tan?
she liked
Yeah.
the tan. Yeah. Where did you
I
get
think
the
we all
tan,
like the
Brad?
tan.
What? I was in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Huh. We all have styles.
Yeah,
More about that.
Jonathan came and he says, I like your tan.
I really do.
He liked it. I said, thanks, I'm coming your way.
You are.
I said, I'm coming your way, Jonathan.
You got a few more weeks in the Caribbean to get there, Brad.
Yes. Once I come back, my skin is like coming off my face.
I think you're gonna get red before you get there. Conroy wants to know, I want to know if I can travel. I have a 2-year conditional visa which is going to expire, but my wife has filed to remove the conditions.
The answer is yes, because as soon as you file to remove the conditions, you get your green card extended for 1 year. So it's not a problem.
Okay, Ishibunisha Kelly.
Back.
Back again.
Back again.
Back again.
Right.
All right, so a friend of hers and his daughter was supposed to be filing, but his name was not on her birth certificate. So they had to get it on. It was his dad.
They had to get it on?
They had to put his name on her.
The name was on the birth certificate, so they got it on.
That's how the birth certificate came about.
That's right. That's nothing compared to Kim's X-rated act. I just want you to know.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. All right. So what's the question? So they got it on.
So no, they put his
the
name on the birth certificate.
Still checking,
Sheesh.
you guys.
So it was his dad that filed for him. He was a F11 category.
F1.
F1. Right. All right. How long will it take if this is the case?
Well, you put the name on the birth certificate years after the child is born. That's not going to get him through or her through. Mm-hmm. You still need to prove that you claim to be the father at the time of the birth and that you have had a father-child relationship, from birth through 18. So putting the name on the birth certificate now is not going to help any way, shape, or form. Any man can put a name on a birth certificate 20 years after the fact and say, yep, I'm the father. Okay? You're going to end up needing a blood test and having to show that you had a parent-child relationship from birth to 18. That's ultimately what's going to happen. Assuming you do all of that, then it's going to be about another 5 or 6 years. File the I-130, get it going. Now, Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias, and Kimberly.
Can I just do one more from Carrie Ann?
Sure, you can.
Because she finally answered the questions that you wanted.
Yes.
So her friend that's filing her papers, and she didn't add her children, now she wants to add them. Her husband sponsored her, and the children are 10 and 14, and her favorite color is red.
I can't stand red, and I will not be answering that question now. If she could pick any color,
why?
I'm not a red person.
Color.
I'm only kidding. I love red.
I was going to say, you always compliment me when I wear
always
red.
I always come with red. That's not true. The answer is they were never included on the application because when your husband, who's a citizen, files for you, the kids are never included. Now, the husband can file separate I-130s for each child as a stepfather, and that's what should happen now. So the husband has to file 2 I-130s for the 14 and the 10-year-old. It's $535 each. They're not included on the case. They got to start new cases. But they'll get here in about a year or so. How's that?
That was perfect.
And
That's
now
all
I know
needed.
Carrie Ann likes red. When she comes to the block party, make sure we got red for her.
I love red.
I like red.
I'll probably wear red. I look good in red.
Yeah. So meanwhile, we have an attorney, Emily Walsh.
Yes.
We have her.
We have her.
We have her.
We own her. We keep
don't
her locked
own her.
in the
we
back.
do not lock
Oh, wait,
any people in the back. That is not true. No, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. I'm not done with my introduction.
But way to be at the ready.
I'm glad that they're ready, but I'm not ready yet. What? No, bring that back. Pull it back. So, any event, she's an immigration attorney. She's actually a really good immigration attorney, and she just had clients who went on their citizenship interview who were nice enough to allow us to follow them along on their citizenship interview. Let's see what happened.
I'm accompanying my husband to get his naturalization for citizenship. I feel very excited. It's the end of a long process.
It was a very delicate procedure, and then it wasn't that delicate.
So Graham came to Spar and Bernstein several years ago because he had filed for his citizenship, and after he had filed for the citizenship, he was put in removal proceedings because he had an arrest from the 1980s. He's been a green card holder since the 1980s, and he didn't even know what the consequences were. There was a fire in his house, and someone had passed, and he ended up having a criminal case for that. It was deemed by immigration as something called a crime of moral turpitude. And as a result of having one crime of moral turpitude within the first 5 years of getting your green card, he was put in removal proceedings. Because it was from the 1980s and he had been a green card holder for a certain amount of time, we were able to file something called a 212C waiver from immigration, and that was granted. After the waiver was granted, we refiled for the citizenship, and then he got it.
I'm thankful, very thankful that it's over and that it's reached the conclusion it did.
We're both from Barbados. I was a green card holder, and shortly after, I applied for citizenship. Now I'm here with my husband.
I would recommend to anyone sits trying to get the status to use Spar and Bernstein.
They go the extra mile to help you attain your status, your green card, your citizenship.
Whatever you're working on. We're happy. We can go to wherever we want to go and enjoy it. Thanks to Spar and Bernstein. And thanks to Emily. Emily was always there for us.
Yes, I don't get excited too easily, but today is a great day, and I can't wait until he gets his certificate.
All right, so a happy Spar and Bernstein client was actually in deportation, had some criminal issues back in the 1980s, and is now a citizen. So congratulations to him, and great job, Emily. And also, by the way, when you call Spar and Bernstein, it's not just me. I have a whole team here of people who help. Let's go to Matthew in Saratoga, New York. Matthew. Hi, how are you?
I respect you guys for the hard work, all the questions.
Thank you.
I have a question on behalf of my brother. My brother, like 1 year ago, he went to the embassy for a tourist visa, but he made a mistake. He has his girlfriend. They had kids together, but they wasn't married.
Right.
He put on the paper, he's married.
That wasn't a mistake.
But-
that was a misrepresentation. You don't make a mistake like that, right?
That's 100%. That's a misrepresentation.
Okay.
And then the problem is right now, he's not with his girlfriend, and then he didn't get the visa. It was denied. They didn't give it to him. So now, in the future, now he has a girlfriend right now. They're married with a U.S. citizen.
Okay. He has a wife now.
Yes, he has
Okay.
a real
All right,
wife
So
now.
so now a wife is going to file for him. He's going to need a waiver at the end of the case.
Say it again?
The wife's going to file for him. At the end of the case, he's going to be denied for misrepresentation the first time around, and then he will need to do a waiver. So he needs the help of a good lawyer, but we can help him. So hold on 1 second, okay? What?
Okay.
Hold on.
The question is, they can start the process, but they need a lawyer. But the question is another country. The people tell them, oh, you have to have divorce for $1,000. I say, I'm not sure it's true, but
He doesn't need to get a divorce because he was never married before.
Yes.
Right.
That's
So
the key.
so he's going to need he's going to need a waiver for misrepresentation, and he needs proof in his country and in the state where the girlfriend lives or wherever that there's no marriage.
Yes.
Okay, we can help. Hold on. All right. So by the way, I don't know if you heard last week, big news in the celebrity field. Bill Cosby, he got found guilty.
He did.
Yes.
I was very surprised, actually. I didn't believe he was going to be found guilty.
Really?
I did not. I was very surprised.
So is that bad lawyers or what?
I don't know if it was bad lawyers or.
Because I heard he cussed them out in court.
No, he cussed out not his lawyers.
Who
he
did
cussed out the
cuss out?
prosecutors.
Oh, the prosecutors.
Cussed out the prosecutors. So, in any event, Jake Hudnut came and joined us today. We taped this a little earlier. He came and joined us today. And in this segment of Celebrity Rap Sheet, he breaks down the whole Cosby trial. Let's watch. So in this episode of Celebrity Rap Sheet, I'm joined by Jake Hudnut. Bill Cosby verdict is in. Last week, he was convicted of drugging and sexually violating Temple University employee Andrea Constant at his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. He claims the encounter was absolutely consensual. Spar and Bernstein's criminal defense attorney, Jake Hudnut, is joining me today. He's been following, and he is going to update us on the Cosby retrial and its repercussions. So, Jake, Bill Cosby, he's 80 years old. He broke racial barriers in Hollywood. He reached superstardom. He was America's dad in The Cosby Show in the late 1980s. His first trial ended in a hung jury. Was this jury's decision to convict Bill Cosby a surprise to you?
Yes, very much so. I thought the defense team had a very strong message and that they were very consistent. And for a case with this much at play, this much put into evidence from both the defense and the prosecution, to have a verdict in, I guess, less than, it was over 2 days of deliberation, but I think maybe about 7 hours altogether. A very big surprise, and on top of it, that it was a guilty verdict.
Yeah, I thought it was a surprise too. And then when I heard that they were coming back with a very quick decision, I was thinking in my head, innocent.
Right.
That's usually what it is.
Yes, because if you're going to send, especially an 80-year-old man, away to jail, you're going to want to think about it and cross your T's and dot your I's. And usually a quick verdict can be a good thing, but not here.
And there was some evidence. There was some evidence to say that she was trying to frame him. She did admit it at some point. That evidence came into the trial, but it didn't seem like the jury really considered that. They really considered the testimony of the 5 other women who came on to say that they believe in a different time and in a different place that they were drugged by Cosby. And they also believed his testimony where he admitted 12 or 14 years prior to this incident that he did try to drug a woman and try to have sex with her.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he did it in that occasion, that it means he did it in this particular occasion. But the jury, at least one of the jurors, came back and said that's what sealed the deal for him.
Yes. Yes, and that's one of the things we caution clients. I mean, jurors, once they go in that jury room, you don't know what happens back there. They don't have to believe every witness. They don't have to give every witness the same weight. They're allowed to judge the credibility of each witness, and that's what they did here. And they clearly sided with the witnesses for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
So now he's out on bail awaiting sentencing, which I guess will be shortly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how much prison time do you think he's facing?
I believe he was found guilty of 3 counts. Each carries up to 10 years in prison. They will most likely merge. You're not looking at a 30-year sentence because it was one incident. The counts will merge. But still, for an 80-year-old man, 10 years is serious.
Do they take into account that he's 80 years old, that if the judge says, okay, you're going to go to jail for 10 years, you may never see freedom again alive?
Certainly. I mean, the judge will have a sentencing range, and the judge can go either to the bottom or the top of that sentencing range, and I certainly think his age will, at least a defense attorney is going to argue that his age should put him at the bottom of that range. A prosecutor might say tough cookies. I mean, he did what he did. His age is irrelevant.
So now the deposition that was the damning deposition was his testimony from a prior case several years prior to this Andrea Constance incident, where he did admit in a deposition under oath that at a prior time to a prior different woman, he did give her some sort of drug and put it in her drink.
Yes.
What did the defense do to try to get that out of the trial? Because that was obviously the damning evidence.
Sure, and that's certainly something that will be revisited on appeal. I think this defense team did a very good job preserving many issues to raise on appeal. And they argued that just because they even kind of spun it, hey, he partied with Quaaludes in the 70s, what celebrity didn't? That doesn't mean that all these years later
he did it to this woman.
But then there also was some deposition testimony that he did admit to giving her something. He just says it wasn't Quaaludes. So there's a little bit of a indication of inconsistency there.
Is there any possibility that the defense team can argue that Cosby should not serve any time in jail while his appeal is pending?
Absolutely. Many states have that option. You see that with celebrities quite a bit. Governor McDonnell in Virginia did not do jail time while his case was under review. The Bridgegate defendants in Jersey and New York right now are out on bail pending appeal. I'm certain you will see that application. I don't know the specifics of the law in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, it's typically only an option for people with wealth and resources. But I certainly think
because he can say they can have an ankle bracelet.
Right.
He can be monitored.
Yes.
He will pay for all of this monitoring.
Right. And I cut my teeth as a public defender in Jersey City. Our clients, when they went down, they were going to jail while they waited for their appeal. They did not have this luxury. But I think you'll certainly see that application being made.
So what else don't you think helped the Cosby case here besides this deposition that says in the 70s he admitted in a deposition he gave Molly to some women in a drink? What else didn't help him, his cause?
There were some theatrics in the courtroom. One of the Commonwealth's witnesses actually addressed Bill Cosby from the bench and said, "You remember this, don't you, Mr. Cosby?" very pointedly. The defense moved for a mistrial. It was denied, so there's another issue preserved to be revisited on appeal. But I think...
what do you think the success of an appeal would be for him?
Look, I mean, I'm trying to look at this from the middle of the road, not from my side of the aisle as a defense attorney. There's a lot of issues here, and there's a lot of, they're bringing in character evidence. They're bringing in women that weren't victims, but are talking about what's prior bad acts, as we've talked about on other episodes. If I'm an appellate attorney on this case, I'm going to have a field day because the judge was not cautionary in these rulings. The judge really helped the state make their case, and I think there's some really good issues to visit here on appeal.
Yeah, my guess is going to be, if I had to put money on, Cosby is going to have an ankle bracelet on and be in his home while this is all being appealed.
Yes.
My guess is because of his age and his wealth and his celebrity that he is going to at least serve his time with some sort of bracelet in his home with some sort of monitoring and not be in jail. But hey, I was surprised that he was found guilty.
Sure.
I thought he was going to be found innocent. Did the defense try to say anything about the Me Too movement? With the, now it's Harvey Weinstein and Charlie Rose and all the different, Matt Lauer, all of these celebrities being caught up in the Me Too movement. Cosby now being that the number one guy, I guess, until Weinstein comes to trial at some point in the future. But what did the defense say about all that?
They certainly, when discussing with the media, they think that he is a victim of the Me Too movement. I mean, this is not a good time to be picking a jury on this issue. This is at the forefront of everyone's mind. I certainly think that the prosecutor had some more freedom to kind of hint to Me Too. I don't think you heard Me Too said by either of the attorneys in opening or closing statements, but the flavor of it was certainly there, and the defense attorneys have said in the media that they think it spilled into this.
Well, everybody saw Bill Cosby's reaction to this. He called the prosecutor, he stood up, he called the prosecutor an a-hole.
Said, I'm sick of him.
Right.
Referred to himself in the third person, a little bit of Donald Trumpism there. Quite the outbreak there. Not a good thing for a client to be doing when you're trying to get him to be, because the judge could have remanded him right there. That's always when you get a guilty verdict, that's the risk, that they're going to slap the cuffs on the client right there.
Yeah, if the one thing that would cause the judge, I think, to put him in jail pending the appeal was that outburst.
Sure.
It's certainly not going to help him.
No, addressing a prosecutor directly, never good.
Yeah. Jake Hudnut, any last thoughts on this?
Bill Cosby's wife today gave a statement, and she said that this was mob justice, that this was more about everything going on outside the courtroom than what was going on inside the courtroom. As a defense attorney and an advocate for the accused and wanting everyone to get a fair shake in the courtroom, I think those are some powerful words, and I think unfortunately there might be some truth to them.
Well, there has to be some truth to them, because everybody, when you have a juror, or you going sitting and listening to a case, you're taking everything you've learned in the world up to that moment into that case. You're not a blank slate, to be ready to be painted. You've had experiences. You've lived a life. You've read a newspaper. You've seen what's been going on. So everybody comes in tainted, saying, you know what, in this last year and a half, there has been a Me Too movement. So maybe it seeped into the jurors' minds. You don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Jake Hudnut, fantastic job. And by the way, he's a fantastic trial attorney, criminal defense attorney. God forbid you or anybody is arrested or charged with a crime or being investigated. Give Jake Hudnut a call. Give Spar and Bernstein a call. We have a fantastic criminal defense team. Not only Jake, David Moreno, Paul Hirsch. Our telephone number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Jake, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And there you got it, celebrity rap sheet. But I will tell you, Jonathan, Yo-Yo Elias, and Kim had a lot to say during this
We have
about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
You wanna. We don't necessarily agree.
Well,
on
you
this.
had.
So my thing is, I definitely think that there's a lot more to this. I feel like all of these stories started coming out when he had that big NBC and Netflix deal. You have so many actors and public figures out there, like Stephen Collins from Seventh Heaven, who have admitted to molesting children, and nothing has happened. So I feel like there are reasons why they wanted to, to get him into this position. I also feel like unfortunately, a lot of the ladies that he dealt with this also was looking for a come up. There was one that he went to dinner with. She said that he touched her leg or something, felt uncomfortable, but still went to his house after. So, and you're wearing a midriff, not saying, never slut shaming, never doing that, and never saying that he was right in doing what he did. But I feel like if he's suffering the consequences, then I feel like it should be fair, and they should as well, and the other public figures should as well.
No, and I totally agree with that. But what I don't think is that just because these other guys have gotten off, which I don't think that they should, I think that the guy from Seventh Heaven should absolutely be prosecuted. I think that Harvey Weinstein is going to be prosecuted, hopefully, should absolutely go down. But I don't think that there's any room for sexual assault, harassment, making women feel like they need to be in this position to get ahead in life. And I think that there are far too many women who have the exact same story for there to be absolutely no fire when there is this much smoke going around.
You know, I'll say this. I'm not sure who you mean by they.
They as
You said they had it out for him. You know, he had this deal. I'm not sure who they are, but they are definitely out there in these high-profile cases.
Yes. Right.
They definitely are. First of all, you have prosecutors who want to make a name for themselves.
Exactly.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So it starts with a prosecutor who wants to make a name for himself and become famous. Okay? It's much easier to become famous and become successful prosecuting Bill Cosby than it is prosecuting the local guy who's, dealing, weed on the corner.
Right.
Okay? So the prosecutor's going to say, hey, this is going to put me right in front of the press.
Absolutely.
The other thing is, if you notice in many of these high-profile cases, the victims have lots of lawyers representing them.
Yes.
Okay, now, think about it. Who's paying these lawyers to represent the victims? Because this victim already got a civil result, a settlement from Cosby years ago.
Right.
So there's no additional lawsuit against Cosby anymore.
Right.
So there's no financial incentive for this victim to go out and hire lawyers to stand next to him or her.
Right.
It's one thing if this criminal case is turning into a civil matter, and now you have your civil lawyer, maybe this woman never sued Cosby before. Okay? Well, then, maybe a guy like Brad Bernstein would be sitting next to you because we're going to sue and take a contingency fee. But there's no lawsuit. There's no civil suit because it already happened. So who's paying these lawyers? Who's paying? In other words,
aren't there a lot of lawyers that go pro bono just to get that exposure, though?
It's possible. It's very, very possible. I don't know. I'm just saying it seems like it's a lot of time and effort by victims' lawyers standing next to them. Maybe they're pro bono. I have no idea. I'm just saying.
I think there's somebody back there paying.
It seems like this victim is their only client. How is this lawyer surviving?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody out there paying. I'm telling you, they have it out for him.
Right. Take for example, Stormy Daniels.
Right.
I believe this lawyer Stormy Daniels has to be his only client.
Yeah.
Right.
How's he getting paid?
Someone's paying.
He doesn't need it.
How is he getting paid?
Everybody knows Michael Avenatti's name
There's
right
always going to be somebody behind.
So I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But there is what about Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Okay, Hulk Hogan was that whole lawsuit was financed by an investment banker. The Hulk Hogan lawsuit against Gawker.
Yeah.
Okay, and they literally put now this seems very anti-lawyer for a lawyer.
Right.
I'm just telling you.
I mean, it's the
I'm just telling you what how reality works here.
Yeah, I
Velma Gale says Cosby needed Matlock and Johnny Cochran.
They
needed Matlock and Johnny Cochran. Yeah.
That's a hell of a dream team.
Too.
Matlock and Johnny Cochran, yes.
That's a good one.
And Gomer Pyle. Was it?
Gomer Pyle.
I
don't know if I want Gomer Pyle on my defense team.
You don't want Gomer Pyle on your defense team?
I don't think so.
No, okay. No Gomer Pyle on the defense team. Ladies and gentlemen, for the defense. Gomer Pyle.
Gomer Pyle.
Do you remember him? Do you know who Gomer Pyle was? He was some really dumb guy on a TV show from the 70s. I forgot.
I was going to say.
I'm not exactly sure I don't remember what show he was on.
Super doofy.
What show was it? Andy
That's
Griffith
right,
show.
yeah.
That's why, because Andy,
that.
right. So wasn't Gomer Pyle Andy
The
Griffith?
doofus.
Andy Griffith was Matlock.
Yeah.
So it was the doofus on his prior show before he became Matlock.
Gomer Pyle. Yes. Played by Barney Fife. Was that
Barney Fife is somebody
the friend,
else.
Was the friend.
Oh yes.
The skinny
no,
one,
but that's
right?
somebody else.
That's the skinny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
the
is,
skinny guy was
by
Fife.
the way, Dawn Harriet says, amen to that, Lisa. I'm just trying to figure out what Lisa said.
Lisa said that she hopes that Camille, Bill Cosby's wife, is praying that Jesus is the answer to this world today.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I mean, I will say, and last thing, the Cosbys have been through, even before all of this happened, they have had a tough road.
Especially with their kids.
Right, their
passing.
kids passing away, like that.
Yeah,
You can't
you know
ever
what?
wish that.
It's so funny, you know, and people, you know, with all the money and fame, look how it ended up.
Money is
Right.
And
never
money is
everything.
not the key to happiness.
Yeah.
When they say more money, more problems, it's
Well, I don't
really
know.
true.
Sometimes more money, no more problem. You know, and then the opposite. The opposite is where, you know, rather,
No
you know,
money,
if I was
all
gonna
problems.
right, if I was gonna be rich and unhappy, or poor and unhappy, you better be
I'd rather
rich,
be rich
and
and
unhappy.
yes.
Right,
Listen, I
but
definitely would
money
rather.
is definitely, with all this fame and money, it's a sad
People will
life.
always have it out for you,
And
though.
it ultimately ended up as a very, very sad
Yeah.
It is.
situation, and that's unfortunately how it'll be remembered. So for all the success
that
and money,
is
it's a
really
really
sad.
sad situation for Bill Cosby. Let's go to Shira in Queens. Shira.
Hello.
Hi, Shira. How are you?
I'm great. I have a couple of questions to ask. Sorry.
Yes.
My husband, he filed for his citizen like a year ago. Okay, so when he filed, he went in, and they said that it was his the written test. He failed it. So they was supposed to schedule him back an interview to go back in. Eventually, we didn't get that letter. So they sent a certified bank and said that the case was closed because he failed it. So we contacted a lawyer, and they said, okay, you know what, file back over. So we did that. But we did that January of this year. So it took like, January, February, March, April, like maybe May the 5th or so. It took like 5 months or so to for the letter to come for him to do the biometric.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't able to read and write and pass the test. What
Yeah, that's
what
what
has
they
he
said.
what has he well, that's what they said. Obviously he can't do it. Why would you file again unless your husband went to school or did something to learn to read and write? You're going to get the same result. Seems pretty idiotic to me to just refile again.
I don't know, but he said that he could do it, but he doesn't know what happened. Maybe because he was, nervous or something.
All right. Okay. Okay. Maybe.
So he said that.
Maybe.
Yeah. So he said that he
better study. He better practice. That's all I can tell you. He
That's
better
what
do.
I
He
told
better
him.
do something different.
Yeah. So it took 5 months for us to get the biometric letter. We just got it and stuff. So I'm wondering if when he's going back, if he has to have a lawyer or so. I don't know.
I think he needs a teacher to teach him how to read and write right now. And yes, he should have a lawyer there. Okay, hold on one second. The answer is yes to both. All right? All right. So let's go finish up on social media check-in.
Absolutely.
All right. And what do we got quickly, because we're running out of time here.
All right, Joyce Boyden or Joyce Bowden. Tomato, tomato. Can your child file for you on a green card?
No.
Simone says, how do I get the I-94 form? The immigration only gave me a stamp in my passport.
You can Google I-94 Department of Homeland Security, and you can download it. You don't need the I-94 though.
All right, Tamika Nelson again. What's up? My friend put in her papers last year, April. She hasn't heard anything as of yet. Should she be worried? She filed through marriage.
Did she get a receipt? Did she get a work permit? If not, yes, she should be worried. If she got her work permit, she got her travel documentation, and everything else, then she's good to go.
Oka Pat said, when is the next visa lottery taking place? And would it be available for Nigeria?
It's never available for Nigeria, and it's generally in September and October.
Okay, Deschanel Perry. How do I go about returning to my maiden name on my green card?
Apply an I-90 and request a name change.
David says, can one travel with 2 nationalities on their passports?
You can travel on one passport. You can have 2 different nationalities, but you don't go, let's say you want to go travel to England, for example, and you're a citizen of Jamaica and the United States. You don't show up to England and say, here, pick a passport. You either enter as a U.S. citizen or a Jamaican citizen or whatever you want. It's not like, in the old movie with Rodney Dangerfield when he goes back to school and he goes to the bookstore and he pulls out his wallet and he goes, yeah, pick a card, any card, huh?
Not like that.
You can't do that. Yeah. It's not like that.
All right, Mary
Take
Young.
my wife, please. Take my wife. All right.
All right. Mary Young. I'm a green card holder. Through my daughter, who's a citizen, I filed for an I-130 for my 16-year-old son. Got a receipt that's processing, that the processing has started. However, circumstances have changed back home. There's no one to take care of my son. He has a non-immigrant visa and visits during school holidays. I want to know if there's any way I can keep him with me until he gets his green card.
Who's sponsoring him?
Her daughter, who's a citizen,
is sponsoring her.
Is sponsoring her.
But
She filed for
the son.
I-130.
Okay, let the son come up on a visitor's visa. Come and see me in the office after he's up, and then we'll figure out what to do.
Missy Anderson said, I was denied a green card 2 years ago by USCIS because my husband, who's a citizen, withdrew the petition. After he denied, we filed an I-290B, and that was also recently denied. But my husband was abusive in the process of the filing, and we're now separated but not divorced. The only evidence I have of abuse are pictures. No police records because I was too scared to go to the police because I was out of status at the time.
You have pictures of bruises, apparently, and you have detailed statements of what you can say, which would be a credible witness. I would think that's a pretty strong case.
All right, I have Bahira Millward.
Yes.
How long does it take? All right, I got you. How long does it take if someone put in your papers as an employee if you're out of status in the U.S.?
Depends if you're 245I eligible or eligible for a provisional waiver or eligible to go home without a 10-year bar. Also depends on what country you're from, but generally outside of the Philippines, Mexico, El Salvador, China, you're talking about 18 months. But again, how are you going to get a green card? Are you 245I, provisional waiver, duration of status, or some other way that you can go home and come back?
Noreen has an interesting question. She said, my husband filed for me and I got my green card and my daughter's I-130 was approved. What's next?
Your daughter filed for you.
No, husband filed. She got the green card. We don't know how old the daughter is, but daughter's I-130 was approved.
Where's the daughter?
We don't know.
If the daughter's out of the country, then what's next is a letter from the National Visa Center to pay the fees and start the affidavits of support. If the daughter's in the United States, you should have filed an adjustment. One or the other.
All right.
Is that it?
Okay, that's it.
All right, so now, drum roll please, Brittany Moran. What's your the comment of the day is?
The comment of the day goes to Cordella Willery. But I don't exactly know why, Brad.
Why?
Cordella is making us some sort of juice. And we have convinced Cordella to send us the juice, but we're told that it's man juice. It's only for men. I should not be drinking it. But Cordella's going to send us some.
All right, Jonathan, it's all you. You can drink it, Jonathan. I am the only woman.
I'm drinking it.
You can have it, and then I'll see if you're alive, and then I'll turn back to a man and drink it too. But you're going to be the guinea pig first.
I'll be it.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.